Hi there, everyone. I'm Tia Nguyen, and I'm a part of Bus5-187 Section 83 Global Dimensions of Business. Today I'm going to be covering inelastic versus elastic demand. Before we get into the actual topic of elasticity, I'd like to educate you on a concept known as price discrimination. International pricing strategy is an important part of the overall international marketing mix. A key part of pricing is recognizing that a product may be more expensive in one geographic location than in another. When consumers in different countries are charged different prices for different products, it is called price discrimination. With price discrimination, companies seek to charge whatever the market will bear. For example, a company may charge less for a product in a competitive market, but more if it has a monopoly in said market. Price discrimination helps companies maximize profit because it makes economic sense to charge different prices in different countries, and this is due to their different economic and political factors. Now the real question is, what is elasticity? The price elasticity of demand is a measurement of responsiveness of demand for a product to change in price. Products tend to either be elastic or inelastic. Now I know that definition's a little bit hard to understand, but I'm going to break it down for you in the next couple slides. So let's get into what elastic demand actually is. Demand is elastic when a small change in price produces a large change in demand. If the price of an elastic product raises at all, the demand for these items drops significantly. When we talk about products with elastic demand, we tend to refer to products with many substitutes or items consumers consider a luxury, if not a complement to their everyday lives. On the left, we can see a comic which provides the perfect example of what an elastic product is. There are many different types of cola for sale in the market. It isn't a necessary item since people could easily live without it, and it is considered more of a luxury item that people buy to improve their quality of life. When cola is at the low price of $1, the demand for it increases and the consumer wants to buy a bundle of it. On the other hand, when the price is raised to $3, the demand has fallen so much that the consumer doesn't want any cola at all. Now on the other end of the spectrum, let's take a look at inelastic demand. Demand is considered inelastic when a large change in price produces a small change in demand. Even if a product's price goes up, consumers are still willing to buy it. Products with inelastic demand tend to be ones that cannot be substituted or items that consumers consider a need. If you look at the comic to the left, you will see a perfect example for inelastic demand. At 80 cents for a container of milk, the consumer is content to buy the milk. When the price is tripled, at $2.40, the consumer is still willing to buy the milk even though she may not be happy about it. Isn't it interesting that when the price of cola was tripled, the consumer didn't want any cola at all, but when the price of milk was tripled, the consumer was still willing to buy it? That is because milk is considered to be a need for the consumer, whereas cola isn't necessarily needed in most consumers' lives. Let's for instance take a look at the concept of a car as a product with elastic demand internationally. In many areas of the US, a car is considered an absolute need as a mode for transportation, to get from location to location. For many citizens, cars are 100% necessary to commute to and from work in order to make a living. In a poorer country such as North Korea, cars are entirely considered a luxury item. Many North Korean citizens are either too poor to afford a car, or they work locally and have no need for one. Therefore, consumers in the US may be willing to pay upwards of thousands of dollars for a car, but many North Koreans wouldn't even consider buying a car at that price. On top of all that, there tends to be more price elasticity for products with more competition. For example, in any gas station you went to, you would see a row or two of different types of gum packages. There's a lot of competition between the different brands of gum. For the most part, each package of gum isn't too different from the one next to it. I mean, how many different flavors of mint could there be, and how much does the average consumer care? That said, if the demand for each package of gum was about the same, and Trident decided to raise the price for one of its packages by $1, it's highly likely the demand for that specific gum would drop drastically. Why would someone buy Trident gum if the 5 gum right next to it costed a whole dollar less? Competition gives the consumer more bargaining power. With more bargaining power, the consumer will likely choose to buy from the firm which charges the lowest price. Thus, many competitors can cause high elasticity of demand. The opposite is true if a firm faces only a few competitors. When competitors are limited, consumers' bargaining power is weaker, and price is less important as a competitive weapon. Thus, a firm can charge a higher price for its product in a country where competition is limited than in one where competition is intense. So today we've covered the differences between inelastic and elastic demand, as well as the different factors that contribute to elasticity of demand. If you have any questions, email me at the email listed above. Thank you.